Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, friends. It's Seraphis. Today is going to be a less organized video as I kind of just want to talk to you guys about what's been rolling around in this old Space Pirates noodle. Because, and especially those times I'm forced into social media, I find myself continually confronted by a recurring fact of my own discourse. The question of the video today: who's really the toxic one here? See, if you spend any amount of time on social media, or even exposed to it secondhand so that you know the beats of the latest trending scandal, you probably noticed something about our geek fandom. It's apparently full of toxic men. At least, that's what it always seems to come down to. Captain Marvel underperformed? It's toxic men. She-Hulk tanked as the lowest superhero show? Toxic incels. Batwoman gets cancelled by the CW? Toxic women haters. The sequel Star Wars movie and a lot of the Disney era content does badly? Toxic men. And social media reports this line over and over and over. Even in the hobby space I'm connected with, the most well-known TTRPG company in North America says that there's no place for the straight white male in their hobby anymore. Fuck you. Do you know what I see from my POV in the comic book fandoms? In the Trek and Wars and other sci-fi fandoms starting with Star, and gaming culture around wargaming and role-playing? Do you know what I see? Lovely communities of men and women, young and old, sharing their stories and love for these fandoms. And also seeing their united voices when they dislike something, like subverting expectations and breaking down characters that were once loved and making them the fucking worst. I'm not saying it's everywhere, but it seems to be the only writing technique these people have now. Let's take the generally loathed Ray Palpatine. Holy fuck, did Jar Jar Abrams fuck that up and down. And can we just stop letting Abrams and Snyder near our toys, please? They always break them. Anyway, Ray. According to Mark Hamill, I think it was, or that Star Wars doco dude who died, Rey's powers in the first movie were meant to be from Luke using the Force through her. She would then go on to discover finding her own power and training to develop it, but her initial mastery was Luke protecting her. Now, all of this was to culminate in an attempt in the third movie, with Rey now sporting a similar Jedi Knight attire to Luke in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, where she goes to a planet and fights an ancient source of the dark side of the Force. As described in Episode 9's initial story, this was something more akin to a dark side Bendu, if you know Rebels. Rey would have to pull out all her training and then be boosted by Luke to end the threat of the dark side forever. But this isn't balanced, so, well, you can go read Colin Trevorrow's script. Instead of that being the final part of the sequel, we get this fortnight reveal Palpatine's back, and he's a clone. And the more he force kills Rey and Kylo, the more his body regenerates. Oh, and he's all the Sith now. Also, he has a massive armada of Star Destroyers with planet killer guns on all of them. And Rey is the granddaughter of Chief Palpatine, and she looks up to General Leia Organa, and disrespects Leia's twin brother, Luke Skywalker. And to show how much she respects the General, she announces her name is Rey Skywalker, while on Tatooine. I'm sorry if I'm coming off dumb as fuck here, but did anyone watch Star Wars before writing that? I don't need to go into how long all of that is. Look up the Warp Zone Episode 9 sketches. They 100% hit the nail on the head. But who do they blame the declining movie audiences on? Toxic men. And then not a year ago, we had the American writers' strike. I'm sorry, would we have noticed a difference in the quality of shows? These modern writers suck. They couldn't write their way through a sentence, but they'll jump the gun and set the scene for toxic fandoms if their show or movie fails, or rather, when. I have no doubt these cunts know exactly what they're doing, because this play is repeatedly done whenever a crap show or movie is made, in always the exact same way. And then you have their smeg-stained bottom feeders, CBR, Screen Rant, Kotaku, Nerdist, and Geek and Sundry. Wait, are they still a thing? Well, thanks Felicia Day, got a massive payday out of it. Anyway, these news sites for geek fandoms have, in recent years, devoted articles, and to reposting a year or more later the articles, to making up these stories that their friends in industry people want them to push. because you need that narrative continually pushed. Otherwise, these cunts can't represent how they are actually good writers. But look at what these nasty fandoms did to us. The entertainment industry is a fucking joke in America, full of cunts with no talent other than sucking dick or eating pussy so that they can use their AI gen writer to write bullshit scripts for movies and TV shows. See, the truth is, AI is a fad, and the industry would try it, see its response, and go back to human writers, just like 3D. But it's these hack human writers now being the sneaky cunts using AI, and they know their lazy ass will get caught out if they let film companies explore using AI writers. I argue this: if a modern writer resurrected a property like, say, the British TV show UFO that inspired the original and updated XCOM franchise of video games, it would probably be full of young adults as the main focus. With the two of them forming a relationship, there would be a representation of the LGBTQIA+ community with at least one character, and another would join the alien invaders. Oh, and someone would sacrifice themselves. Sound familiar? This has basically been the regurgitating writing template since Arrow. It happened all the time in the CW Arrowverse. They did it to the Willow TV season. They did it to Avatar just recently, and Quantum Leap. I get writers need to start somewhere, and LGBTQIA+ representation is fine. But somewhere can't be being with the keys to beloved franchises with fandoms that love and respect these stories. The truth is, from all this venting, is that when you, the companies who control the IP of these franchises, let these talentless fucks dissecate the stories we grew up on, that we then told our children and retold in adventures when role-playing, you're breaking the cycle of the stories, and your attempts at dissecting the hero of a story inadvertently makes the villain the main character. That's what you did to Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker is the story of Palpatine. Did you intend to make Magic Space Hitler the main character? Actually, don't answer that, given the state of America these last 8 years. In case it wasn't made clear, my problem is that it's not the fandoms that are toxic, it's the people who write the news stories, who talk about the fandoms, that are the toxic ones. If hack writers who had no place in the industry and hack wannabe journalists who write articles to purposely stir up controversy and misinform people who aren't as much into the fandoms, well, we wouldn't have these issues. Well, I doubt anyone is listening to the end here. This shit has been bothering me for a while. And now that I have a YouTube channel, hey, why post these rants on my Facebook wall and be ignored? Well, I can post these on YouTube and be ignored. I may next week talk about my home game world. I'm sure it's nothing amazing, and if it gets a lot of traffic, it'll be assholes saying I stole this or that from another franchise, because that's what social media has done, turned us against each other. But I want to get a video out on Heroic soon too. That was meant to be today, but I didn't end up liking the end result, so Grimschool told me to do this. Regardless, I wish positivity to you all, except the American government and CIA. Those cunts can eat my dick. Completely different reason though. Yeah. Farewell, friends.